Alright guys, so now I went ahead and I popped the models off of their popsicle sticks, and we're going to go ahead and glue them down to 1-inch fender washers. Now I'm going to base this guy close to the rear of the washer because his barrel would stick out, and this that'll help protect the barrel. All right, and then guys like this that have their weapons sticking out the side will basically do the same thing. See, I put them a little bit off center so that it'll protect the barrel. Put him close to the back again, just like everything else. All right, let me go ahead and base these up, and then when the tacky glue dries, we'll be back for the next step. All right, now the final step is to do some basing. And so what I do is I take my PVA glue and I use one of my tester's brushes. What I do is I use the tester's brush to make sure I have glue all over the base and the model's base. Like so. And then I'll pinch a little bit of gravel, just a couple of pieces onto the base, pushing the excess or ones that are outliers onto the base so they don't overhang. And then I sprinkle gravel, and I'll just set it down in the gravel. This is actually fine medium brown ballast. Ballast, I guess is what they call it. It's for model railroading. Now be careful when applying a second coat of Elmer's to your base. The first coat of PVA, either tacky glue or Elmer's, can absorb the liquid, the moisture, and then loosen. So you got to do this process fairly quickly. So they don't loosen. Alright, let me get all the bases with gravel on them, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so we're going to let those guys sit in there for just a few minutes before we shake off any of the excess. We're going to let that glue let the ballast kind of soak into the glue, and then we're going to let that glue ride for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to shake it off, and then we'll let it dry for another 15 minutes or so before we progress to the next step. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, now we'll just take these models, pick them up, turn them over, tap off any extra gravelly sand or whatever might be on the model. Use a soft bristle brush to knock any loose gravel off the model itself. And then what I do is I just put them in a little cardboard box there. gentle taps. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that to all these models here. I'm going to go ahead and clean off the excess gravel, and then I'm going to let it sit for about another 15 minutes to let it dry. Now that the gravel's not covering up all of the Elmers, it'll be able to dry. And then we'll go and put the flock on next. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Alright, now similarly to adding the gravel, what we're going to do now is we're going to add flock. I'm using foreground loose foliage brown leaves and PVA. Now I'm not going to cover this base 100% like I did for the gravel. I'm just going to put dots like maybe there. I'm going to bring my glue applicating brush and I'm going to press this down into the gravel, into the dirt, as you would call it. Leaving some gaps between, spreading the glue out just a little bit, and then having different sections of glue. And then I'll take this and I'll sprinkle it onto the base, and it'll stick to where I placed the glue, which is not 100% of the base. And then we'll set that off to the side, and we'll let that dry. And I'll kind of show you again on my primary figure here. If you see any black shining through, or if you see any silver shining through from the model's base, just apply some of the Elmers directly to that section of the base, so that when you put the flock on, it will blend and it will cover all those imperfections. Okay, well, let me do that with the rest of these guys, and then I'll be right back. Alright, now basically what we'll do is we'll just take these models, use the same soft bristled brush, and what we'll do is we'll turn the model over. We'll tap. You can see the grass falling off of it. And we'll set it off to the side. Tap. Brush. Alright, once I get all these cleaned off, we'll come back and we'll take a close-up look at these models. Okay, here we go. We're going to do one miniature at a time, where you can see it up close. And you can see the basing work. The straps. Number 2. Number 4. Five. Six. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 'Finally, the man. Number 12. All right, so now this is about actually this is 18 inches away, and this is what you would see on the table. It's a beautiful looking unit. It's probably one of my favorite looking units, the American War of Independence. All right, guys, well, if you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to help support the channel, hit the PayPal me link in the description below. If you want to see more of these types of videos, be sure to comment. All right, guys, well, this was fun painting these models for you. All right, and you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.